How you doing?
Good. The usual.
Just hanging out at the studio.
No, just at home. Been home for a few days.
How was the first few shows, man? I mean,
It
it's
was
got to be weird.
yeah, totally. It was awesome. The shows were great, crowds were great, but it's kind of surreal to be out there, it's kind of weird. But and plus, like, we just kind of hang out backstage or on the bus. We don't, we can't just go running around like we did before.
Yeah, man. I was talking to Adam D the other day. Went down to San Diego. He was telling me about the details for they're going on tour with Slipknot, and they have to stay completely isolated in little bubbles. Like they can't have family or friends come see them.
Yeah. So there's no one backstage. It's like a tour manager's dream come true.
Yeah, right.
There's no one backstage. Only just whoever's on tour and the local crew, but they're kind of separated.
Yeah, man.
And what's funny is, like, so on our tour rider, we get our little deli trays and Doritos or whatever, but we usually get, like, 3-4 cases of beer, Bud Lights, the Coors, the Coronas, the Modelo's, and every night we'd always have like 2 cases left. And so, like, as the tour was going along, we have like beers everywhere, like in the cooler, in the fridge on the bus. And then we're like, oh man, we have so much beer left. And one of the guys in the crew was like, you know why there's beers? Because there's no one backstage to drink it. Because, before it was like friends, family, the other band's friends, they'd come and we're like, oh yeah, have a beer, go ahead, take a beer, or they're like, can I get a beer? Go ahead. So, usually we're like, oh, we need more beers, but now there's no one backstage, so it's like,
yeah, man, that was my thing. I mean, that's how this whole thing got started. I would go backstage with a giant cooler just full of beers, and and not just like Bud or Modelo or whatever. I'd bring like craft beers, and 8% IPAs that are gonna fuck you. But yeah, like now it's it's crazy, and I get it. I went to a show. I went to go see Between the Buried and Me. That was my first show back.
Oh, wow.
From the pandemic. And that's because I've had tickets for like a year. They just, they were like, hold on to it, whenever it happens. And, and I went and it was fun. I had a great time, but I wasn't ready.
Oh yeah.
When the mosh pit broke out right next to me, I was like, oh no, fluids.
I know. I mean, I totally understand,
Yeah. It's a weird time now, man. But I mean, it's good to see like it's going. Like I wasn't ready then, but I think I'm going to go to another show. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to keep trying and just trying to get everybody on board to just knock this thing in the ass. Because
I think so too. Yeah.
I mean, you guys put out a new album for during this whole thing. So I mean, was that something you guys were working on before the pandemic?
Yeah. So we recorded the album in the summer of 2019.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, and then in the fall, so last time I talked to you was 2018, like total 3 years, 3 years ago. Exactly. We were like on tour with Thrice and we were thinking about a new album. And once 2019 came about, we started writing for it. And then in the summer we recorded it and we were like pretty much finished with it in the fall. So all we were like, kind of like trying to see how we were going to release it. Planning on releasing it. And then the initial date was going to be March of 2020. So we're like, all right, March of 2020.
Good timing.
Yeah, no, but then right before the pandemic started, we pushed it back to September of 2020. And we're like, oh, that's cool. That kind of stuff happens all the time. So we're like, cool. And then the pandemic happened in March or April, pretty much. So we're like, oh shit, that was kind of a blessing in disguise that the album was pushed back to September. Cause at that time we didn't know, that it was, if it was going to be just through the summer, we were,
people were like, oh, we'll be fine in a couple weeks. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So then September came around. We're like, oh, that ain't going to happen. So then that's when we kind of started talking about how we're going to do it. And then someone in the band was just like, hey, maybe there's a way to release it one song at a time. And then it just kind of went from there going, oh, just releasing it one song digital or on vinyl, you know, is cool, but we could do something better. So then we just did the whole collaborating with, you know, artists and tattoo artists and designers, you know.
Dude, you're killing it. I mean, it's a
Thank
brand,
you.
and I mean, what was it that I saw? #1 rock and metal album in the UK. That's fucking huge, bro.
Yeah, thank you. No, so we had a lot of so we released 6 songs, and then the album came out 2 weeks ago, and then we got like, you know, 5 or 6 more songs to go. So, you know, that was a good buildup for the, you know, album. And then, you know, I think the collaborations and the cool art kind of helped too, you know.
Yeah, you gotta. It's, you know, it's a weird line when you're taking, like, when you're in a band that's like, you know, touring for years and grinding it out like you guys have, and, you know, to see the growth, and you're like, well, if we want to keep going and growing more, we need to do more things, right? We need to have clothes, you know, we need to have different collaborations with people to do some cool shit. Yeah. And you guys have the marketing down for that, man. I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was, you know, it turned out to be a really cool thing. 1 month goes by so quick now because, you know, we're like, oh shit, and new song, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the futuristic kind of take on releasing albums, dude, because we have to adapt.
Yeah, you know, I kind of feel, you know, it's like, you know, we're releasing a lot of merch, and I don't want it to be like this, you know, promoting here's a new shirt, here's another shirt, you know. I don't want
well, there's that line, right? Yeah, like you're selling out.
Like, yeah. But, you know, it is something that's a collaboration for the song and with the artist. So I think, you know, it's not, we're trying not to make it like an overload, you know. Sure. We're just trying to, you know.
Well, you're just providing options because, I mean, maybe not everybody can afford to buy each piece, but they'll pick the one that they like the most, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I don't know, but it's still, at the end of the day, the whole album is going to be out and people can stream the whole thing, and, you know, that's where
everyone, you know, kind of listens, like just skips around, you know. I'm guilty of that too. You know, you get a new album and you skip through the whole thing and you're like, oh, there's one good song on that. You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Releasing it every, you know, everyone's listening to it at least once or twice, you know.
Yeah, they're waiting for that release too. You build the anticipation for the next one.
Yeah, I read the comments and they're like, oh, the song's awesome. But there's always a couple that, you know, oh, this song sucks. Or like, they don't say it sucks, but they're like, oh, this isn't, you know, what I thought. But I'm like, hey, at least he listened to it, you know. At least he didn't skip, you know.
It's kind of like the format of a TV show. If you're doing weekly releases or every couple of weeks, you know what I mean? Like that, it's that same concept, and it works for TV. Like I prefer to watch episodic stuff than a full 4-hour movie. I can't sit down and watch Lord of the Rings anymore. It just doesn't happen. I gotta be like dying. Oh, I got COVID. I'm in bed for 2 weeks. Okay, maybe I'll watch the Lord of the Rings then.
maybe our next album should be released on Netflix or Hulu.
There you go. Yeah, it's just and it's just a performance. That's the only way to hear him is you got to watch the performance, dude. It's a crazy time though. And I love seeing everybody kind of like collaborating and trying to figure out how we're gonna do this. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it is crazy though. It's fucking, you know.
The shows that you played, were they like mandatory vaccine? Because I know that's like a hot topic. Everybody's kind of controversial on it.
I think there was only 2, but it was, you know, because it was we started around early August. It was like August 10th or something was our first show, 11. So it was still, I mean, it was happening, but it still wasn't like, you know.
Yeah, it wasn't the whole tour.
No, it's like, but so yeah, towards the end, it was starting to happen. And then the second leg starts in end of September till mid-October, and it's more like Seattle and like cities like that, bigger cities, you know. So you know, it's the, you know, the venues probably, you know, might require it, you know.
Sure, yeah, that's what's going to happen. I mean,
yeah, it is. I mean, it's happening. So.
If you want to enjoy life how it used to be with live shows and being around people, you gotta do it.
I totally agree. Yeah. So we played in New York, and
connection's breaking up. Is that me or you?
Oh,
there we go. All right, you're back.
Okay. Yeah. So the New York show, I think the venue was a vaccination proof place, you know?
Yeah, New York's pretty tight about that.
And then I went to a restaurant, you know, and they required vaccination proof vaccination. Even the hotel bar. I went to get one beer at the hotel bar, and you had to show your proof.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, it's gonna happen. That's good, you know.
It should be on our licenses. That way we don't have to have two pieces of paper. Just go get your license, a little N or whatever, a V.
Yeah.
And that's it. That way we can move on, because I don't really care. A lot of my old Cuban friends that are Republican, they are all like freaking out about the vaccine. And I'm like, dude, you guys in Cuba would get like a whole cocktail of vaccines. I mean, they have like literal scars on their arms that you can, any Cuban, just check them out. They have like a little circle spot. It's scar tissue from all the vaccines they got. And then they want to complain about this one.
Yeah, you know, how I grew up in Japan, they used to do that, you know. I think it's called like the BCG or whatever. But I still have a scar too.
Yeah, dude. It's you know, and plus, it's not like we're living super clean lives. Everybody's on their phones. There's radiation from that. Everybody's eating shit. Everybody's drinking beers. Like, what are you worried about? We're already filling ourselves with garbage. It's fine.
Yeah,
you're fine.
That's the last thing you got to worry about. You know.
Yeah, man. I just want to party. I want, and that's what I love about your music too, man. Like, it feels like a party, and not like a, you know, I have to drink kind of vibe. It's more of just like everything is a good time. Everybody's there to have a good time.
Feel good vibe.
Feel good vibe for sure. Yeah. And you know, did you guys do anything with Mariachi during this time?
No. Well, you know, last year so when the pandemic happened, it was March, April, and then, you know, Cinco de Mayo was coming around, and obviously we had to, you know, we always play Cinco de Mayo, and we had to cancel that show. But then we have this series called Dead Tracks, which is like a double LP that we did with the Bronx in 2019, which is all our cover songs and all our like unreleased songs on one vinyl, you know, or two vinyls. And then we're like, oh, let's do one, you know, one for Mariachi then. So we did one for Cinco de Mayo. We released a double LP, Mariachi.
Música Muerta, Volume 1 and 2.
Yeah. So that was, you know, we did that, and then in October we did the live stream.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, well, Dead Stream.
Dead Stream.
What we call
How did that go for you guys? Because I'm wondering, you know, we've seen it, and as a consumer, it's cool because you get more content from the people you love to see. But like on your side of it, like how successful was that for you? Is it something you guys want to do again? Like, how was that?
That one was really good, but we were, you know, when everything started happening, everyone was like, oh, we're switching to live stream. We got to do live stream. So everyone was like, you know, doing it from their living rooms to, you know, a club to, you know, celebrities singing Imagine on Zoom together, you know.
That's how it all started. Oh, yeah,
no. We were like, you know what, let's take a step back. We didn't want to like dive into like this live stream world, and we just kind of watched how everything was happening. And, you know, one thing we didn't want to do was go in an empty club and, you know, and play on a stage, you know, with a smoke machine, you know.
That's a bad vibe for me.
And at first, you know, it depended on what site you were using for live streaming, because like people were like buying the live streaming, but then when the stream happened, people couldn't watch it. So we wanted glitchy delays, you know. Yeah. So we wanted to be, you know, sure about that too. So then, you know, it was like Halloween, Mariachi, you know, Bronx, and we just kind of went from there, you know. And it was super successful. It was like the sound turned out so good that people were like, oh, you guys should release this on, you know, whatever. And then we're like, all right. And then we released the live album.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, it's great. I mean, that means it worked. I think if you were able to come up with like not only just the stream itself, but then another, like it keeps going, it keeps bringing, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah.
You know, that one, like we sold that, and like it was like a 666 copy type thing.
Right. Yeah.
It sold out in like 5 hours,
That's incredible.
So it sold out in 666 minutes. But yeah,
on June 6th.
Yeah.
I'm just
And then, we don't mean it to be so like exclusive, but like, that kind of stuff we do on our own. So, we can't go out and press 10,000 copies of, what
it's expensive.
Yeah. So we got to do what we can. But yeah, so that came out really good. So, as a band, I think we did really good as a band. We kept it together. We talked to each other almost every day, a few times a week. We talk, text, even if it was just like sending stupid jokes or stupid memes or whatever. We kept in touch, and we always kind of were like, all right, let's see what's going to happen. And, we never like, we're like, fuck this. We were never, we were always like, oh, let's, keep our heads on straight, and we did those two things. We did a couple merch stuff, no overload. And then we're like, all right, 2021, let's, release this album one song at a time.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. And so how much touring do you see? Like, I know that right now things are still up in the air because at any minute they could just, drop something else on us.
So,
but what's the plan for the next few months?
Well, we have the second leg. Next weekend we go to Riot Fest. Mm-hmm. So that's outdoor. And then we jump back on the Rancid and Dropkick Murphys tour again.
Hell yeah!
And that's till mid-October, and that's it. We have I think we have one show on Halloween with the Mariachi band. We're playing with Tiger Army.
Where is that?
Wiltern. So it's it's like a big place to social distance. If you want to come, let me know.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. It's near my birthday. My birthday is November 1st, which I usually celebrate midnight Halloween. So
awesome. We have that, and then I think we have something in December, and that's it for the year. And then in January we're gonna go to UK with Every Time I Die. Ooh. And I know you like those guys, and maybe some stuff in the Europe, but we got to see what happens. It's all booked and whatever, but.
You're getting a lot of, by the way, I don't know if you are aware of this, but you're going to be getting a lot of pro wrestling rub, as they call it.
Yeah, Andy's a crazy wrestler now.
Andy's a wrestler at AW, and that's huge. But also Rancid's blowing up again because they signed Ruby Soho. They gave her the name, and so now every week Ruby Soho's blasting on #1 trending thing on Twitter. So it's like, yeah, cool, pro wrestling rub.
We talked about it with Lars. He was like, yeah, we're like, Andy, and he's like, yeah, and then they, talked about wrestling a little bit.
Yeah. Andy's a cool dude, but I can't believe, like, every time I see him on TV, I'm like, wait, what? I can't, my eyes don't make, it doesn't process. But like, have you paid attention to that at all? Cause I mean, I always talk to people about it, not just because I'm a fan, but it fascinates me that when you look at like social media, whenever any of those shows are on, either WWE or AEW, whenever they're on TV, it's the #1 trending thing in all of the things.
Wow.
It's on social, it's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on YouTube. It's like, what the, so I can't ignore it.
Yeah, I follow his Instagram, so I see it, and it's just like, it's crazy because it's like, oh my God, there's more wrestling than guitars,
Yeah, and the shows are huge. That's the thing. They're playing these big arenas. That's kind of a good feeling, I guess.
When we were in Buffalo on this tour, we had to go. We went to get something to eat, and we're walking through this place, and there's a huge like a poster type thing, and we're like, look, that's Andy.
That's right. He did a thing with like a clothing brand too.
Yeah. He's like a Buffalo celebrity.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, so did you pick up any hobbies during this time off at all?
Nope. So pandemic, I didn't learn a new language. I didn't do, I didn't learn how to sew. I didn't like.
You didn't learn how to TikTok?
I'm too old for TikTok. Too young to retire. Too old for TikTok.
That's a T-shirt right there, bro. I'm just kidding.
But I probably saw that somewhere. But yeah, the first pretty much year, I did, I just did what I do when I'm home from tour, I didn't, except going to bars or going to shows or seeing friends, I just like listen to music, play guitar, read, music books. I just got into like, just music more than, I usually do,
Did you dabble in any new project, like a new solo project or something?
Well, so then that, I was doing that. And then at the beginning of the year, this year, I was like, you know what, I was kind of like recording, coming up with stuff and recording stuff. And then at the new year, I was like, you know what, I'm going to play every instrument and, write a song, play every instrument and record, how many ever songs I can. And I'm up to like 20 songs now. So that's been that's been like a new thing. Cause, before I used to just, demo songs on, and I'm not good at using the whole recording format,
Sure. Yeah.
Dirty, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use 2 microphones and make this dirty, crazy recording, and I've been doing it. So that's been pretty fun. It takes a whole, so I start at like noon and then do it till like 7 p.m. So that's like a whole day of
Yeah. Hell yeah. Are you going to put it out for people to hear?
I mean, we got, the Bronx is always busy, but yeah, there's always, I'm always coming up with plans,
Yeah, just pick like 10 of the best ones. Or how many songs are in a full length album? Like 10, 8, 9?
And 12. Yeah.
12 even. So, you can do 12. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been super fun. That's been my thing since 2021. But like in 2020, I just got into like I would listen to one, like, let's say I listen to Rolling Stones, then I, get into like old blues albums and like the open tunings. And I just and I would listen to anything related to Rolling Stones. I would watch anything related to Rolling Stones, read Rolling Stones books. Nice. And then flick of a switch, I would go to like grunge and just do everything, listen to Nirvana, Alice in Chains, play guitar like that, read about that, and then go. I just went like that,
Nice, dude. Are there any newer bands that you're listening to now that you're inspired by or anything?
Not too much. I mean, like the Turnstile album's cool,
That's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I used to be like into like, keeping in touch with all the new bands. And I was like, I'm never going to be that old guy that
it happens,
bands, but now once you turn old, it's so hard to keep in touch with not hard to keep in touch, but there's just so many too,
Yeah,
and,
man.
But yeah, I try, when someone recommends me something, I'm like, oh, I'll check it out,
Yeah, for sure. I was the same way. And I mean, I still try and make an effort for the show, really, to just stay on top of things. But I've definitely come to that age now where like I see stuff on the internet and I'm like, what? Yeah. And I have to like text my sister like, hey, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's this and this. I'm like, oh man, I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm the old guy that couldn't figure out my grandfather, when I had to explain GPS to my grandfather, my goodness. Yeah. His brain just like, wait, what? I'm like, he's like, make a right here. I'm like, I know. And then I got to make a left. He's like, how do you know that? I'm like, this thing right here tells me where to go. He's like, how? I'm like, like there's satellites. He's like, what? Satellites? I'm like,
someone's following. They know where I am.
Oh my God. Who put that up there? Was it the Chinese? Was it Russia? I'm scared. It's like, I don't we need to get, I think that whole generation is in that's what's going on with politics. Like every time I hear about politics, I just picture old grandpa with dementia just yelling at another one. Yeah. That's all I picture anymore.
Yeah. It's insane. There was like that video going around a little bit about when Zuckerberg was like on the stand, and then all the old politicians were like, so Mr. Zuckerberg, they pretty much didn't know how Facebook or any kind of social network worked, Oh, yeah. So basically they're like, so if you have a Facebook account, you could get into my bank account and everything, right?
Yeah, and they have to do it in such a lame way, dude. Every time I watch Like, and I don't watch it, but if I come across any kind of like C-SPAN stuff where it's just like a round room and they're all sitting there like, oh, well, I believe that. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you gotta put your, ATM card number in your Amazon account, and they'll be like, what? I'm not giving them my bank information,
How dare? How can I? My fingerprint?
Yeah.
My phone. I turned my phone on with my fingerprint. I mean, I'm sure that's like everybody's losing their minds. Like, oh, that's it. They got you.
The face ID.
The face recognition on all the Apple phones. Yeah, dude. Yes, of course they got you. We're done. We're done. They won. 1980. Big Brother.
Once the Social Security number happened.
So here's the trick. Here's the trick. So we lost the battle of privacy, So monetize it.
Yeah.
If they're gonna watch you, make it worth some money then.
Exactly.
Sell it then. If you're gonna take it, at least charge for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My goodness. Sure. So, brother, I want to say like, so what's the big plan, and this and that and the other, but everything's up in the air. So.
Yeah. So January we tour UK, and then we're hoping tour all of 2022. See what happens.
Just keep it going until someone says not to, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, what else can you do? I mean, you guys, the Bronx is it's a thing that you have to see live.
Yeah.
Like you're one of those bands, and it's not a critique or anything. Like the album's great. Yeah. But I want to watch you guys live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a big difference.
Yeah.
And I love that about you guys, because some people, they spend years working on albums to make them this pristine, like masterful, like, clean cut. Everything's cut perfectly. It's like, dude, just play live. Let's go. Let's go to a show. Like, I think that's what we need to try and get back to for sure.
Yeah. I missed that for sure.
Are you in any way concerned? Like, are you thinking about like, the fact that you're in front of people and this whole thing?
Oh yeah. Well, when I'm like, people are like, how did you feel when you got on stage? Did you feel like crying? And I was like, man, I was like checking out who were wearing masks, and
I'm gonna stand over on this side.
I was like, but I mean, it's cool, but if you're seeing a sea of people, when you're playing, or like, when I go on the side of the stage to watch Rancid, Dropkick, and then it's like, a lot of people,
Hey, I can't watch shows down there anymore. That's it. I can't go into those circle pits anymore. That's what I've determined. Now I got to watch off to the side. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm grateful for people that still do it, but it's like, oh man, it's different times too.
Yeah. I saw like people crowd surfing at this Between the Buried and Me thing. I'm like, no. No way. I mean, before I used to be that guy, which, maybe it's not a popular thing to say, but I was that guy. Like, if you landed on me while crowd surfing, I was putting you on the ground. Not hard. I was just going to like grab you and, all right, that was fun. That's it. You're not stepping on my head. I'm just taking you down here and have fun with that. So I was already kind of like against being crowd surfed on, but now it's like, no way, dude. No, the hygiene is very important. I've become Danny DeVito and It's Always Sunny in Philly, covered in like hand sanitizer. I just want to be clean.
Yeah. But I did all right. Every couple times I had like a little, sanitizing freak out, but and obviously we can't go out and mingle really in the crowd,
Sure, yeah.
So,
were there a lot of nerves, or did you feel like you just got right back on the bike?
Right back on the bike.
Right back on.
Yeah. I was like, I'm never gonna complain about small backstages, or never gonna complain about shitty buses, or shitty vans, or small van. I was like, I just want to get back on the road. But as soon as we were back on the road, I was like, oh God, it's Buffy, and this backstage doesn't have this, and
Yeah, so, man. I mean, do you have a family at home?
No, just single.
So good. That's good, because I mean,
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to like friends that are on the road that have family, and they're always like, I just want to go back home.
One of the artists that we did a thing with, I was just talking to him randomly, and then he was like, do you think a lot of people wanted to quit, kind of the entertainment, bands or like crew when the pandemic was happening? And I always thought, I don't think people wanted to quit when the pandemic was happening, because that was like the one thing you held on to, it's one thing that you wanted to go back to. Like, I want to play live, I want to, work with a band, but I think people are going to more so quit now that everything has started. Like, just think,
they're gonna realize they didn't like it that much in the first place.
You're like, you were home, you were with your family, with your wife and kids for, almost 2 years. Then you get back on the road with all these, guys and, kind of
bad smells.
Yeah. And then people are going to realize, hey, maybe I should just stay home. That was kind of better, So I think, I wonder if people are going to have that realization, I actually like being home better, but
yeah,
I didn't, so since I'm single, I didn't really feel like that, where I was like pining to go home or whatever. I actually kind of enjoyed being, on tour, because I was around people, because, during the pandemic, I rarely saw anyone, just the guys in the band, a couple little bubble friends,
Yeah.
And, I never really went out, so like when we're on tour, I was like, that's a bubble of 50 people, that you see every day. And I was like, you know what, I kind of, I'll miss it,
Yeah, there's definitely like a brotherhood feeling that goes missing when you're not amongst the friends,
But definitely, people are gonna miss being home,
Yeah, I think so. I think it's also an age thing. I've been seeing I've been keeping an eye on a couple of like young bands that are doing stuff here in LA, like underground, like playing under a bridge.
Oh yeah.
There's some crazy shit going on, man. I had talked to this kid, young dude, wanted to help me out with the podcast, so I wanted to bring him on as an intern type of thing, just help me do stuff. Yeah. And I've been following his account, and he goes to all these shows and takes pictures of this crazy, like, people are naked, there's fire. And I'm like, wait, wow.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know the name. I think they're one of the bands around here that's like, I think they're called Wacko, something like that. Like, that's one. They were the ones that were doing the what the fuck is up, Denny's. They played a hardcore show inside of Denny's. Oh my God. There's a viral video of a bunch of kids just doing a hardcore show inside of a Denny's, like moshing, just destroying the place. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of stuff has to happen, when you're younger and you gotta play under a bridge next to a fire,
it's part of what builds you. It's what builds you.
Yeah. But I'm curious to see how how people are going to be once the whole touring is really back.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hopefully see that Halloween show. It sounds like a lot of fun, or close to Halloween, right? It's at the end of it's in around 27. You said.
Yeah.
The album seven. Six. Sorry, I thought it was 7. It's because of the live one. That's what threw me off.
You know what? I forgot. You're the rock and roll beer guy. We had the beer.
Oh, that's right. Tell me about the beer. How did you get that together?
So San Diego. San Diego is like the whole brewmeister, brew town. Beer city.
Yeah, hell yeah.
An old friend of ours, Dave Lively. He started a brew house called Fall Brewery. And
yes, I know Fall. Fall's great.
So Fall was like 5-6 years ago he started, and then he's always been like, hey, let's do something together, because he's a graphic designer too. So he was kind of in that world down there with like Rock from the Crypt and Drive Like Jehu. So he was like, oh, let's do a collaboration of like a beer thing, and we're like, oh, cool, But
watering the well, right? That's the one.
Yeah,
nice.
So we never really, it just never happened, because we just can't randomly make a beer sometimes, So when this monthly collaboration happened, we're like, oh, this will be the perfect timing, you know. And then we did it. We did a beer release. We went down there. Yeah.
Yeah, the watering the
I'll
well.
I'll get you a 6-pack.
Dude, yes, please.
My friend went down there yesterday and they were all sold out.
Oh, dude, I love lagers too. That was the beer we did was a lager, so that's like that's my favorite style right now. I'm getting old. I can't deal with the fancy beers anymore.
Well, we've always been the lager, the cheap beer guys. You know, so we kind of, I think we went in that direction, but it was cool. Joby, our guitar player, made the design for it, and then we made T-shirts. And the can had a QR code.
Oh, okay.
If you like put your phone to the QR code, you could download that song.
What? That's tight.
Yeah, I should have.
Oh, man,
I have one in the house somewhere.
That's really tight. Yeah. That's awesome. I see the can here. I looked it up, and really cool artwork. Yeah. That's really cool, man. And are you guys going to do more? You think maybe down the road?
I mean, maybe. You know, they got the resources, so you know it could happen. But yeah, it's good to hear that it's sold out. So
hell yeah.
There's people could. It's easy to drink too, so it's not like oh god, you can drink a 6-pack in like 6 minutes.
It's not a barrel aged sour beer with like chili peppers or something.
It's light, nice on a 2 p.m. on a Friday afternoon.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I'm excited to try it. I love, first of all, I'm always supportive, and I love the band beer collaboration. That's just my thing. I love it when bands do that.
But thing.
Yeah, but just to hear that, it's sold out immediately, that, you're in a popular band, dude.
Awesome. Yeah,
I think number one record in the UK is a really big deal. So
it's surreal.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Have you guys gotten Grammys?
No.
Is that important to you at all?
Not even a nomination.
Is that important to you? Do you feel that is like a life goal? Like, some people like in sports, like I got to do the Super Bowl or whatever.
Sound cool, and it would be cool to do it. But like once, I don't know, it's never really been a, goal, but I mean, that's the kind of stuff like, like we did all like the David Letterman and Jay Leno and all that. And it was never a goal for me or us but it is kind of a milestone. It's something you could show your family, you're like, hey, you could tell your family, hey, watch us on Leno, or, watch us on Letterman, or, hey, you want to come see us, the filming of a late show, Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's kind of I always thought, it's more of a, not a validation, but like, it's like, hey, I've been doing this for this long, but hey, there's some cool stuff we get to do, but I appreciate anything like that. I'm not that, You're
not going to say no if they call you for the Grammys.
Yeah. I'll do a Super Bowl halftime. I'll do a Grammy full time. It's cool, man. That kind of stuff is cool to me.
Yeah, hell yeah. I agree, man. I mean, I don't really like. I don't. It's a weird perspective on it. I have a weird perspective on awards. Like, I want all of my friends to get them. But I also don't use it to judge things, like in terms of, like if something wins album of the year, I'll check it out, but I'm not gonna, like, I have people that automatically, if it has album of the year, it's good. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be.
I never like really cared about the whole, those guys sold out because they sold 2 million albums, it's, it's cool, man.
That's how you make a living. That's how you can make more of it,
You made 2 million albums. You sold 2 million albums,
Hell
so that kind of stuff is cool to me. Yeah. Never a hater on that stuff for sure.
Hell yeah. So what's the biggest, like, fantasy of yours? Do you want to do a sound, like we were talking about big things, so do you want to do like a soundtrack? Like, is there a goal that you haven't done yet?
No, I don't know. Not anything that pops in. I mean, we've done something, had a hand in something a little bit, like, soundtrack. We've done like the theme song to Weeds, with the Mariachi band. We did like the late shows. I guess, to me, the goal is to like just keep doing what we do, and then get, and more people to reach out to more people,
Hell yeah. Do a mariachi El Bronx on a Mexican pyramid. Or do the Bronx on Mount Everest.
Yeah, we'll do, anything's cool, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I think that, it's funny that a band hasn't done that yet. Film the whole hike up Everest and then do a performance,
I don't even know if I could hike up to the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, I have a hard time just coming up the ramp in my driveway right now. Like
that's like, hey guys, we can't record for 2 years or play live for 2 years because we got to train for this hike.
Well, yeah. Did you have any physical? Did you warm up physically to go back on the road? Because I imagine if you're doing it all the time, your body's kind of in motion. It's warmed up, as they would say. But if you're taking some time off of doing shows, like your body starts to get kind of like tight, and so did you do anything?
No, I don't. During the pandemic, I never had the discipline to like do like a big diet or like just like get a 6-pack or whatever.
Work out every morning.
I do like the minimal of like a 45-minute cardio, or like I run on for like an hour. I just never go the extra to get. I just try to maintain.
Yeah, you're not doing like burpees.
I think it's just getting old is like another thing, but I don't think none of us really warmed up. We do our little personal exercises at home, and but we are old. I turned 50 in December.
Well, you should be proud. I look older than you.
So when I play, like you get the rock neck or whatever, just
for sure.
The body hurts a little more than when I was 25, but I mean, yeah.
Got to get sponsored by CBD, man. Got to get some CBD sponsorship so you just free, topical neck creams.
I want to try some. Yeah, I use some of that BioFreeze.
Oh, BioFreeze is great. And look, check this out. This is how I'm turning 40 this year, so I mean I'm younger, but I'm getting up there, and I just bought one of these things. Look at this thing.
What's that, for your back?
So I just massage specific spots in my back. It's the best thing. It's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I use that hyper like that.
I've seen the ads. I want one of those. I'm like, my stupid like Cuban brain is like, I could make that. I gotta.
They used to be like $300-400, but now they got the $50 version.
Yeah, that stuff. It looks like it works well. I like it. I've been using this thing just because I can pinpoint. I know exactly what hurts. Yeah, so I just go right there and.
I need one of those.
Dude, it's like $20 on Amazon. It's great.
Cool. Yeah, I need to get to my back.
I also bought one of those like styrofoam rollers.
Oh yeah, I use that.
That's so good.
Old man talk. But old man talk. I just, I wish I had the discipline to be like, all right, I'm going to not eat, not drink, and do this.
You're going to go keto, bro. You got to go keto.
But I could never, I'm like, I want a carne asada burrito so bad. What I did? What was funny was when January of 2021, in February, we had a photo session with Esteban Oriol.
Oh, nice.
So I knew I was like, all right, awesome photographer. And I bet we're going to use his photos a lot. So I was like, I'm not going to drink for a month. So from January, I stopped. I didn't drink anything. And then February happened. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. And I went all the way to end of May till that Watering the Well beer came out. So I went like 5 months without drinking. I had 0 beers.
It's a good move. I lost a bunch of weight from that as well, because I used to, the rock and roll beer guy, I would drink pretty much every day, but I took a break for a while. I think it was like 6 or 7 months, like that, around the same 5, 6, 7 months. But I wasn't keeping track. It was just kind of like, I'm not going to buy any more beer because I'm broke. I'm broke. I'm no longer in the beer industry. I had just moved industries, and I was like, I don't have access to all the free beer anymore. So I just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to not drink and see what happens. And didn't make a difference. I lost weight, but like, I thought I was going to like, my brain was going to be like, I'm never going back. No, the second I got my first beer bag, I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, because I was the same way. I was like, you know what, I got to take it easy because I haven't had beer for 5 months. But then, you know, I had like 3, 5, and I was like, you know, this is good.
Yeah,
but yeah,
man.
I could never, you know, some people are like, you know what, I stopped drinking and I lost like 480 pounds, you know, and I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I didn't drink beer and I kind of exercised, but I'd go back and forth on a 5-pound little radius, you know.
Yeah. You know what happened? You know what happens a lot to people is if they quit drinking, they start getting a sweet tooth. They want sweets.
Yep.
Because we don't realize how much sugar is in all this booze. But
I love sweets too.
Yeah, man, that happened to me. Like when I quit drinking, I was like, donuts.
Yeah, a lot of my friends said that. Yeah. But yeah, you know, like I said, once you get old, you just gotta. My thing is try to maintain. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a medium anymore, but size medium anymore. But I gotta keep fitting into the size large. You know?
Yeah, you don't want to get to start, you know, I'm okay with a 2X, you know?
Yeah, you know, when, you know, during the pandemic, I was just like wearing loose t-shirts and loose pants, you know? And then at one point I was like, you know what, I got to stop doing this. And I just kind of, you know, went back and kind of started wearing clothes, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, then you feel weird when you go out in public.
Yeah, yeah.
That happened to me. The first time I went out with pants, I was like, oh, what? I don't like this. I'm so used to just being, I mean, I'm usually just in my underwear in the house. But if I have to step outside to get the mail or whatever, it's a sweatpants or basketball shorts, you know? And, but yeah, once I put pants on to go outside, it's such a weird feeling. I don't know. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah. From a certain point, I was like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, at least wear some jeans and good t-shirts, you know.
You got to get used to sleeping in your jeans. That happens on the road sometimes. Oh shit, man. Well, hey brother, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, man. We didn't even do a proper intro, but I'll make one for the beginning of the video.
Awesome. Yeah. You know what was funny was I rarely do interviews, but like today I did like 3 right before yours.
Oh shit. I'm sorry. We could have rescheduled, man.
No, so I was on a roll. It was good. I had you know.
It happens though. You start getting into that zone where you do like 6 a day, where you're just like, I don't know what's happening, but let's just get them done.
Yeah. But I gotta say, since I did this 3 years ago, your stuff has been going big. I see all the guests and listen to it, and I was like, oh, this is cool, man. Because you know what, I was like pretty early on, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't too early on, but like, you know, now you got like, you know.
Well, now we have video because I smartened up during the pandemic because like I did episodes in the past where it was just audio, but we did the call. Like I was talking to a video, and I'm just like, why didn't I fucking record that? That's
well, the Zoom happened.
The Zoom
I
happened.
gotta say, all your stuff's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. That means a lot.
I'm always stoked when you have a good guest, you know, like a big guest. You know, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Oh, you did the thing with Matt Stocks.
I did Stoke the Fire. It hasn't come out yet. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about it. I messaged Matt right after. I'm like, I don't know, because
can I get a redo?
Yeah, because like I went too deep. We went way too deep. And I was just like,
Matt does go pretty deep on his podcast. Yeah.
At one point, I'm like, are these tears? What just happened? Like, what's happening right now? But yeah, it was a fun time, dude. And thank you for the kind words, because honestly, like, I see you, man. You're one of the few that you know, you're always liking the post, and I see you. So thank you.
I read and check it out. You know,
I appreciate that, man.
Awesome that you know you're doing it with you know.
No, now I'm doing it with you. Well, no, I'm glad to have you back on, dude. I've been wanting to have you back since we started the video stuff. So, everybody that's watching and listening, follow Ken. Destroy. Pronounce it Mochikoshi.
Yep.
Yes, I got it right. Destroy. There's underscores. Are there underscores?
Yeah.
So destroy underscore Mochi underscore
destroy underscore all underscore Mochikoshi.
There we go. Follow him.
I need to change it to an easier name.
Nah, fuck it. Make him work for it.
Yeah. Great seeing you, man. And
Nice to see you too. Nice to see you too, brother.
I'll message you.
Yes, please. Let's hang out in October.
Yeah. Let me know about October.
Hell yeah, brother. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.